how do you with like us, we have like social batteries.
Yeah.
So like how do you recharge or like with
Yeah.
like afterwards, how do you like
Yeah.
yeah.
For me, again, it depends on the people I socialized with before. Yeah. So if it's like, family or maybe teachers or an event, I will go straight to bed and sleep and not give a fuck about the rest of the world. Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Chaos.
Literally, yet not so literally. I'm Mario.
And I'm Francis, and we're the hosts of In the Midst of Chaos. So starting today's podcast, or like specifically this episode, I'm going to be like acting Mario. How was your week?
Uh, Honestly, it was pretty weird. Like it's mixed, half half. There was some bad stuff and some good stuff. Basically, like this week, was really fun because actually, we hung out like to watch No Way Home, and the fact that I get to watch it on release date. Yep, didn't get any spoilers. Yeah, that was really fun. That was like really fun. Just actually hanging out for like the first time in 2 years or so. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I haven't hung out ever
You
since
know
the
you know
pandemic.
oh
Yeah.
oh
Strict
that's
parents.
that's cool, that's cool. Ah, I see.
Yeah, so how about you?
Um
How about you?
well, this week obviously like we like literally today we started our holidays because we like ended school yesterday. So that's kind of exciting. Although, like, because of like the whole pandemic and things riding and the new variant of COVID, like
Yeah, yeah.
there's like a restricted amount of things that we can do.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'm very like happy for the holidays. Um, and then yeah, like Mario said, we hung out to like watch No Way Home, and it was super fun. We like cosplayed Mario,
Well,
wore full on
not
suit,
totally not the only
but it
one
was
with a suit in the cinema.
it was fun though.
It
Like
was, it was.
and then oh we also you well technically you saw a guy who like cosplayed as
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
Spider-Man.
They just weren't on the
I,
same studio.
it was really cool.
Yeah.
Besides that, like nothing bad has really happened. But then like I don't know why today I'm like super tired. So that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
great.
actually, yeah. Yeah, okay, I can't lie as well. Like, I'm still pretty tired since yesterday. You know how we're
Mm,
actually supposed to record this episode like yesterday, but then
yeah.
I I just got like ultra sick. Like I got flu out of nowhere. My whole family actually got flu. So like I was like
Oh.
I couldn't talk at all. Like I just was there was too much snot in my nose. I couldn't talk properly. I like every second I'll just take some tissue and my trash can is just filled with tissue. So like yeah. And now I'm still pretty tired, but I'm good enough to record a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh.
Yeah. So moving on.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's all that
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
So moving on to the topic of this episode, I guess. So our topic today, we'll be discussing about social anxiety, like, and maybe some introvert and like not maybe, but yeah, some introverts, extroverts and ambiverts, and our social experience, I guess, the way we socialize as kids and teens. Yeah.
Yeah, so again, with this topic, we are definitely and obviously not experts on this topic specifically. We'll just be like discussing the topic as kiddos, as teens, like teens, like our, and we'll be sharing like our experiences and tips, like according to our own opinion, and again, our experience. And also, we took like a psychology test a little while back. So like what we're saying is like according to the psychology test and obviously according to what we've known for like the people around us, what they've told us and what we've like known for ourselves. So yeah, let's get on to it.
Okay, so now we're going to be basically be explaining the definitions of social anxiety, introverts, and ambiverts, and etc. So the first one basically social anxiety, which is social anxiety. It's basically where socializing or interacting with people can cause anxiety to the person with social anxiety, obviously, but then it will also cause others of like embarrassment or fear and overthinking.
Yeah, and so like with social anxiety, usually a person tends to be introverted, not all, but in general. And
Yeah.
to be an introvert is basically where you're comfortable with being by yourself or being alone. And you focus on internal things rather than external, and you enjoy a small group of people to socialize with, and you tend to be energized by spending time alone. So back to where people always think that, oh, introverts are shy people. They don't like people, like socializing with people. And some people, like some introverts, they might feel like that, but then this is in general, and it's not whether the person is shy or not, but then the way they're energized by spending time alone or by themselves.
Yeah, so basically now we get into the opposite of that, which is the extroverts. So basically, like extroverts, they're more outgoing, they're more sociable, they're also energized by spending time with people. So the opposite of introverts, they're
Yeah,
also very engaged with people.
yeah. And so in the midst of that, which is basically the mix of introverts and extroverts or ambiverts. So ambiverts have a balance between like being an extrovert and introvert, like I've said before. And they can switch between those two types depending on like the situation they're in, the environment, and their mood, of course. But with ambiverts, of course, no one is like absolutely 50-50 with like the balance of it. They're either a little bit more extroverted or a little bit more introverted. So yeah, those are basically the main things that we'll be discussing.
Okay, so basically we're going to head on to our experiences. So yeah, uh, I guess the first, like one of the, we're going to be discussing the experiences based on who we're with or where we are. So yeah, I guess the first one we're going to be discussing about is during school. Okay, so do I go first?
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Okay,
sure,
okay,
sure.
yeah. So when it comes to school, yeah. So as we talked, like maybe in the previous episode, if you guys listen to it, we talk how we both of us actually moved a lot for like school, like during a couple years. For me, socializing as a kid, it really wasn't that much because you were still a kid. You don't really know what embarrassment is. Yeah, you don't really know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
anxiety is. So it didn't really affect me that much as a kid. But then, actually, it kind of did. But then, like, it's just the fact that I didn't have a long-term friend because I moved a lot.
yeah,
Yeah. But then, when after moving to Asia, after getting going through puberty and stuff, uh, ba-
yeah.
basically,
Big puberty.
yeah, basically, my brain just decided like, oh, you now have social anxiety. So now, like when it comes to school, especially like online school, actually, when I moved to this school to SDH Lipo Village, the current school I'm in right now with Francis, like uh like when we just first went, I really didn't know how to socialize. I didn't know how to like how to make friends. I was so confused because usually usually in my previous schools, I would like when I already had, so I started getting anxiety socially, I will just do my own thing, just, and then people usually walk up to me and introduce themselves to me, and I'll go, oh hey, I made a friend. But then now in online school, I'm like, oh crap, how am I gonna make friends? Yeah, so I'm pretty actually it's pretty lucky that as mentioned before in the previous episode, Ruth approached me first, and then I actually got someone to talk with and ask help from, for school. Yeah. So basically, the only social anxiety I have in school, like, is just making the first time I was in school. But after like a long while in the school, I would just like get more comfortable as usual. It's pretty basics, like, yeah. But then
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
other than that, the first time on school on the specific school, I guess attention. I'm not that type of guy to like. I don't like a lot of eyes on me. So me doing public, even in front of the class or maybe just our grade, like a couple like four classes, like all of the grade 9, I'll be fine with that. It's just public speaking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually like speaking and stuff. But then if it's in front of the entire school, nah, no.
That's a whole different
Yeah,
situation.
I'm just gonna panic like 24/7. I'm gonna fidget with my fingers and everything. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it for me. So what about you?
For me, like during school, it started actually at like a really young age. It's like so basically I'm an ambivert, but according to my psychology test, I'm more introverted. So like I can learn how to socialize, but it's like hard to me to like make the first move. Like even as
Mm.
much as I want to, I always like hesitate with
Yeah,
Mario, for
yeah,
example.
yeah.
Um, so like when coming like to like new schools, because like Mario said before, I move a lot as well. So like basically I come to a new school. It doesn't always go that great in the first day if no one comes up to me. Like I will try to like come up to people. But then again, if you're a person who moves a lot, uh like people or like students tend to have like their own group first. Especially like the first time I came to Indonesia, it was fourth grade, so everyone was basically friends since kindergarten, since like first grade and etc. And so even though if I like approached them first, they would be like, "Oh, hi," and it would stop there. And that made me like very cautious about like how I acted,
Mm.
and like it made me very anxious, like with everything I had to do. And also, like I said before, I also have like some extrovert side, and I don't mind like speaking up in class, and I don't get me wrong for like being a nerd or anything, but I like answering like questions and like participating in class because I really care about like my academics and my grade and all. Um, so like with that, I'm fine. But like Mario said, if there's like a large group of people, way larger than like a
Yeah.
class of like 20 people, then yeah, it does get me like a little bit panicky, and sometimes like those like sweaty hands decide to like
Yeah.
come in and
Yep.
and
And
then
start fidgeting with
especially
every
like
single thing.
yeah, like a lot of fidgeting, and then like with me sometimes if it gets like really bad, I have stomach issues. Not
Okay.
that I have to like go to the bathroom a lot, but it's just like really uncomfortable. And then like sometimes it leads to like throwing up if it's like a really extreme case. But then like so far, like right now, because everything's online, and yes, my school specifically, like our school, we get a chance to go on site for like, so it's basically hybrid. We get to like go half the day and spend the rest at home. So I guess that really helps with like being really anxious and like having like really bad social skills, because like I can balance it out and not get too tired while doing school, because I can spend time at home and I can spend time alone, but I can also like practice socializing and also um just like being able to be with people. So I have like a balance of both nowadays. So I guess like that's pretty good with like the whole like hybrid school. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Online school is honestly mixed feelings for me. Like
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes, for some reason, I don't know why. Even though like turning on my camera for some reason just like tires the hell out of my neck. Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like no, I sit the same way, right? I always sit the same way while I'm playing games or maybe school or turning on. When I turn on my camera, I just sit the same way. But for some reason, like my neck just becomes really stiff, and then like after a while, it just gets tiring. So I just can't
Yeah,
have my camera on 24/7.
yeah. This is a problem with like me and my sister, we discussed this before, like where teachers constantly ask students to open their cameras. And yeah, some people like some students are super fine with it. They're
Yeah.
okay. But then like some students, they find it like they get distracted or like they get anxious, so it makes the learning process actually a lot harder when they turn on their
Mm.
cameras. So like for example with me, when I turn on my camera, I tend to like not focus because like I'm scared of like how I look to other people, even though like some people might not even care at all. But then like in my head, it makes me like very anxious and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
hard to focus on school. Even when I try to do my best, and I'm like, it's not like that I'm getting used to it, but then like right now, especially with our teacher, she gets really fussy
Yep.
with like turning on our cameras. So like whether I'm comfortable with it or not, I have to do it anyways. So that's like a really downside of like online school and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like one of the the biggest downside for like turning on camera as well. Like sometimes you actually turn on your camera a lot, sometimes, but then the teacher won't notice. So like when you have PSTC or something, when you're accepting your report card, the teacher will get, oh, he doesn't turn it on as much, like not too active.
Yeah,
But then
yeah,
you actually do it, and you're like, wait, but I do. So like you just
yeah, and
yeah.
like they don't they only notice when you don't turn on your cameras, and that's so
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah. Okay. So moving on to the next topic then. Basically our social experiences during events. You wanna go first?
Oh yeah. So basically with events, uh, let's like lay out like a few examples. For example, like school events, it has like more to do with school, and obviously there's like students. And like if I go to an event with like I know people there, I usually like go to them first because I'm more comfortable with them there, and then
Yeah.
like I'll get used to like the environment of like the event. And then like from there, then I can like start introducing myself to people, or people can start coming to me. So I won't be like suddenly like overwhelmed with like a lot of people
Yeah.
there. But then like sometimes it leads to like more worst case scenarios. For example, like I'm going on an event and I don't know anyone there. And it gets really frustrating. Like before, like I said, there's like some cases where I just end up like being alone, like sad life in the bathroom type of situation. But then like again, I try to socialize in events the best that I can because I know it can be good for me. But then like there's a point also that I think a lot of people need to understand, that when people have like social anxiety or like when they're like they tend to be really drained out when like meeting a lot of people, that you can't go like head first on with them. You have to like there's like a process that you have to go through, and like
Yeah.
so far I'm thankful that like I have like my sister who's like also like really anxious when it comes to people. So like if we're ever going to an event together, we know how to like take it slow, like go on a certain pace so we don't tire ourselves out. Even though like most of the times with me after social events, there's no way I won't be tired, but then like there's a certain level of like how exhausted I am from an event.
Yeah.
So I guess that's for me. Like
Yeah.
what about you?
Okay, so for me, basically, it's kind of similar, but like a bit different, because yeah. So for me, I won't be trying to socialize with people in the event. I mean, it depends on what event it is, right? But then the worst part for like the worst social part for me in an event is when there's a really old family friend or like cousin, like a far cousin that you forgot, but then they remember you. So you're like, it's a really
Yeah.
awkward situation. They're like, "Oh my God, you've grown up. You're so big now," and then you're like,
Who are
"Do I
you?
know you?" and then the worst part is when your parents ask if you remember them. So you're just like, "Oh crap." Yeah.
And you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
and you
like
and
the
you're
worst
left out
part.
with like the awkward pause.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And then other than yeah, so if when it comes to events, if it's school events, I'll like be trying to find my friends. I'll just be walking around like trying to find
Yeah,
my
yeah,
friends.
yeah.
And then if I can't find them, if you can bring your phone, I'll just like sit somewhere or go into a corner and just be on my phone and chat with the rest of my friends. And then like sometimes I'll just like run to them. I'm like, help! It's awkward as hell right now. I have no one to talk with. I don't know any of these people. I will chat with them, and then I'll just like internally scream as I
Yeah,
chat with
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
And like
I
yeah,
usually do.
yeah, like with events, if like for example, like you don't have anyone there or like your friends haven't come yet, sometimes like when you can't text to them on the phone, I will literally take out my phone and like do nothing. But then I pretend to be honest so no one will come up and talk to me because I'm not like mentally ready to talk to people yet at certain situations. So I'll just be like pretending to scroll on my phone, but then like
Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
what I
like
do
you
too.
said, like
Yeah,
I'm dying inside technically. But then like and then like I do realize with like events because like I can be an outgoing person with like certain types of people, but then like in other situations I'm super like quiet. So this is like the other thing with ambiverts. Well, with me personally. So like, do you have like that situation where like you're in an event and you don't see your friends yet, so you're like all quiet and then like you're by yourself, but then suddenly when your friends come, you're just like hi, and
yeah,
then like
yeah,
you, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly how I am during like events and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically,
Okay,
like when it's with friends, like, when if no one's there, I would be like super embarrassed, super like
yeah,
anxious and
yeah,
stuff. Like I'm overthinking,
uncomfortable
insecurity.
unit,
I'm
yeah,
uncomfortable. But then if I would like be that, right? But then if so, like a friend, at just one close friend is with me, like we actually know each
yeah,
other,
yeah,
like we're pretty close. I won't care about anything. Like as long as someone else is weird with me, I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't wanna be the only weird kid there. So like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That goes on with like the next one, which is basically like with friends. like for me personally, like once once so I'm crazy. I'm not I'm just gonna like I know I'm crazy and I do a lot of weird stuff, but then like I won't do it alone because like it feels like weird for in my taste, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But then like if I have, like you said, like even if it's like one person and we go out and do like crazy wicked things together, like it feels totally normal and I'm fine with it. Like and like
Yeah.
even like I enjoy it. Like I enjoy it a lot. But
Yeah.
if someone tells me to do all of that alone, I'm just gonna be like, you're
Hell
asking
no.
way too much.
Uh, Hell nah. Pay me 1 billion and I'll do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I need that 1 billion rupiah. Yeah.
And then like also like with like friends, uh it doesn't usually okay, it just depends how close I am with them. Like if I'm like if we've known each other for a long time and we're super comfortable, like you know that point in like a friendship where you're comfortable with like silence together. Cause like
Yeah.
there's either like it's awkward or like you're comfortable with the silence and you can like do absolutely nothing and just like sit there or like lay to like together like just like in absolute silence, but you're comfortable. And then like so yeah, so like some of my friends, like where I'm not so close with, but I still like am able to like socialize well with them, and like we're like hanging out together. This is something I like super hate about like being me with like all like my social problems and stuff is that sometimes my social battery will like literally drain out in the middle of a hangout, and it's like I feel so bad because I don't want it to happen, but it does. And then like so I turn like
Yeah.
not like down, but then like it's like it turns like really quiet. And I feel so bad for like my friends who like actually want to like go and have fun and like are able like to talk and have fun together, but then like I can't like level up to like the way they're acting and socializing and stuff because like I have super bad social
Yep.
battery. So
Yep.
like that's like one of the worst things ever. So yeah, inconvenient, bad, awesome.
Yeah. In my case, when it comes to my social battery, it's like really weird. So it won't drain while like I'm socializing. So basically, like it'll say, like, for example, like uh, just so it's easier to say. For example, it's like 100% when I'm like just socializing and my hangout. Before until it ends, when I'm at my house or when I'm in my car and no one else is near, then that's when it like so it doesn't go
It
gradually
hits, yeah,
down.
yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't go slowly down, but it goes like from
yeah.
100 and then
Damn.
yeah, from 100. So when it actually ends, when the socialize no more socializing, right? It goes from it stays on 100 from the beginning, but then once it actually ends, just goes to zero, like
Yeah, yeah,
immediately. So it doesn't go gradually, slowly while I'm socializing with my friends. It's when it
yeah, yeah, yeah,
finishes and then it goes down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like with me, like either after it finishes and like you go home and you're like finally alone, you like suddenly like overwhelmed with like how hard you've been socializing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like I don't know about you, but for me it goes like really extreme most of the time. So like after I socialize, it usually I usually end up being sick, and that's
Yeah.
like that's like really bad for me. So either like suddenly goes down when I'm alone, but then like I said before, sometimes like suddenly like disappears. Like my brain and like my
Sorry.
body is like no more socializing for you. In the middle of
Yeah.
the hangout. So like yeah. Oh, but then like I don't know about you, but like some of my friends like actually understand it. So like if they do realize that my social banning has ran out, they will like help me like get out of the situation or like tone themselves down a bit. And like I appreciate that like so much. Like especially like all my friends who like are able to like notice that. It's just like wow. Well, that's with me. Like what about with you? Do like your friends
um
realize it or
Not really, because I don't really, my so it as I said before, it doesn't really like
yeah,
randomly
it's
go down.
constant.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
it's constant until it finishes. So like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and most me and my friends, we're all pretty much like the same. We're all pretty socially awkward, but except for one
Ah.
person, which will just do which is like basically the one that will talk to the people. Yeah, that's basic. Yeah, basically
The
we're
like when
basically
you're
the same.
hanging out,
Yep.
yeah, the when you're hanging out, the person like who comes up to the waitress or like the receptionist and be like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you go do that.
Yeah, but then it's actually really weird. He's like socially like anxious. Like he doesn't wanna do it, but if he has to do it, he does it really well. Like He socializes really
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he just doesn't want to do it. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, it's like that actually really relates to me because like if you ask me to like present myself or introduce myself to like other people, for example, with like in school and stuff, I can, well, in my opinion, I don't know how like you see it, but then like for me, I think I do it like pretty well. But then it's like if a person like tells me to do it, then I'm on to do it. Like I can do it well. It's just like the aftermath and like sometimes like when I have to do it with like by my own self, like I have to like do things that include socializing by myself, and that's when it like hits me and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, in my case,
Like
I just do bad in general. I just can't socialize in general. Unless the person yeah, unless the other person realizes that I'm socially awkward and don't know how to properly conversate and talk and
yeah, yeah.
socialize, then I will be able to properly like talk, conversate and socialize. But then if they don't realize that, then I will just be the awkward kid not saying anything and being the
Yeah,
ISL. So
yeah.
like
Yo, this is like exactly like with like friends like was it 2 days ago? It was 2 days ago. So basically after watching No Way Home, we had dinner with like whatever like our other friends that was there.
yeah.
And then they had to go home. So basically me and
Yeah.
Mario we stayed.
Yeah.
And then like because like we're both like socially awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, for me it wasn't it was like we had like the weird pauses in the middle of
Yeah.
our conversations to like find topics to talk about. Like even though it wasn't like for me it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like no offense,
Yeah, same, same, same. I
because
thought
like
we were
I
just
thought it
not
was
gonna have
gonna
anything to talk
yeah
about.
yeah yeah, and then but it turns out like like we could like actually get to know each other on like a certain
Yeah,
level, and like even though we did have those like weird pauses, I think it was pretty good because it helped us like find like conversations to talk about and like
yeah,
collect ourselves to like be able to talk about things. So like even though even
yeah,
though that did happen, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
yeah. I really was like, I was like, just going to the like, it would be fun, just to talk. But then at the same time,
Yeah,
my brain was
yeah.
like, how are you gonna conversate? You've never, how are you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
talk?
yeah.
You
Like
just don't know what to talk
like
about. So
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
went
I
better than
swear.
I thought it would be. Yeah,
Yeah, I hesitated. I swear. Do you remember me asking? I was like,
yeah,
I was just like, what are we gonna do? And then we were just like, we just went with it. Like afterwards, we just went with it. And actually, we like talked for we just talked for like, yeah, we talked for a while. Like, and then
yeah.
like, yeah, yeah. So I think it didn't go that bad.
Yeah. Basically, like but then for straight up like 5-10 minutes, we were just standing in the middle of the mall. We were like deciding, so should we stay or should we go home already?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we were
yeah.
thinking of
Like
if
I
we,
was,
yeah. Because
yeah,
I think both of us are thinking of the same thing. If we did stay, well, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna talk about? It's gonna be
exactly,
so awkward.
exactly.
So it actually went better than like so we were both hesitating like, crap.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be fun if we
And
stay,
then
but then what do we do is the question. Yeah,
like I was like internally debating with myself like
yeah.
whether this could
Same.
either go like super bad or like it could actually be fun. Like that's the problem. You don't know
Yeah,
what happens. Like this is another thing that I also want super to happen. It might not be like totally related to this, but that's fine. But like
yeah.
I wish for everything you do or like with the friendships or like relationships that you have with other people, I want a trailer. Like a freaking preview of what's gonna happen. Because that would be
No,
so handy.
true.
The, yeah,
Only
that would
God
like
gets to
save
see
you.
that though. So
Yeah, exactly. That would save you from like so many
bad
embarrassing, like
yeah,
humiliating, awkward situations. But no,
yeah,
that doesn't actually happen. So you gotta risk it.
yeah.
So
High
like,
risk,
oh
high
yeah, so
risk, high
like with
reward.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like the whole social anxiety thing, like how's it with like your family and stuff?
My family. Okay, yeah, this is like an interesting one actually. Uh, basically, because as we mentioned before in the previous podcast, actually, I kind of talked about this actually, like a little in the previous episode. My family, like the fact that my parents are really busy when we were little, we didn't because of that we didn't interact with each other a lot, so like we didn't socialize a lot. So now it's like a bit too late for that, so it's like so awkward when
Ah,
we're
yeah,
interacting.
yeah.
I mean, it got better for my sister because she's older. She actually knows how to socialize now. She's in
You
college
got the
now. Yeah, yeah.
skills.
Yep, she now has a skill. So she's like in college. But then actually now it's just me alone that doesn't know how to socialize properly. My brother is like yeah, my brother isn't the type to properly to be able to socialize, but then he's the type to be annoying. Like, yeah, yeah. So the way he socializes is by being annoying in the family. He doesn't do it with other people, random strangers, but with the family. Like, that's how he socializes. He's like, he just so if it's quiet, he's just like ma, and then even though my mom answers that like yeah, what is it? He's like ma, ma, like just it's just there to be annoying. And then even though he hears like my mom tells him something, and then he hears it like he like everyone can hear it clearly from a mile away. He's like,
Bro.
what? Okay, apa? What did you say? Even though he knows what we said, you know. So it's like really annoying. So yeah, it's
What do
really
you mean
stubborn
if it
as well.
just
So
it's
like,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But then other
But
than
then
that,
it
my
like it's
family, yeah, my family doesn't like interact with each other a lot. We tried for like this year actually 2020 we tried because like my dad was less busy, you know, but then now my dad's has more work again, so yeah. So we actually like we have family night, we play games, we play like Super Smash Bros or like Ludo, you know. And then to get my brother to play, they will put prizes. So we get money for playing it. So yeah. And then
nice,
me being
nice.
the pro gamer I am, I win every time. Easy. Easy money. So now I'm sad we don't do it anymore because it was my free money.
You get free cash.
Yeah. I scam. It's rigged all along. Yeah, that's basically it for my family. That's basically it for my family. Yeah.
With like me, like since I was very little, even though like my parents were like busy, they always made sure to have like time to like spend family time together. So like
Mm.
since I was like young and in Cambodia, we would always have like family movie nights or like having family game nights. Like you would either play like Ludo or like we would even play like we would even like have karaoke or like have those like weird ass dance nights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like and like we made the habit of like having like our daily night devotions together. So like after we eat dinner, we oh yeah. I just realized a lot of people in Indonesia don't eat dinner together or like even like have lunch and dinner together with their
Yeah.
families. And so like when my friends told me that, I was like very surprised because like since I was young, um my parents would always make sure we would at least have dinner together. So like after the dinner we would have like our devotions and then like after devotions before like we end with like our prayer together. We would always like talk about like our day and how's it going. So like they'd always make sure to like catch up with us and even though they can be like super like strict sometimes and like stubborn, I'd say like the way I socialize with my family is actually like pretty good. But the problem is with my family is they think that I socialize like that with everyone. So like obviously the way I socialize with my family will be different with the way I socialize with like
Yeah.
strangers or other people that I may not know that well. And so sometimes they well most of the times really they like force me into like going to uncomfortable like situations with like events or like having to do stuff by myself when I'm not ready. It's not that I'm not independent,
Mm.
but like it's very for me personally it's very exhausting to like having to like go socialize by myself and like not having a person stand by or like having to talk to them first before like going out
Yeah.
with other people. And then so they tend to like they're trying to understand. I'm trying to explain it to them, but
Mm.
like and it's like it's not going too well. Like sometimes I still get extremely exhausted from it, but like they're trying to understand, and I'm trying to like get better at socializing as well. But then the good thing with my older sister specifically, even though she's like more of an extrovert and she gets energized by like hanging out with her friends, and my little sister she's a total extrovert. So like, but my older sister she understands like how I'm feeling and like how I'm uncomfortable with certain situations. So she helps try to like she stands up with me like in front of my parents when I'm like too tired to like try to explain it to them.
Yeah.
Or like I said before, if we're like having social events together, she like help me out with certain things. But then like with the other family, like for example, like our bigger family, like our aunts, uncles, our like grandparents and etc. Um, I don't know how they're like that extroverted, and like whenever I go to like visit my bigger family, they hold events 24/7, and it's like so tiring. And then like I don't mean to be like rude or anything, and I know like Indonesia might like use it like their culture when they critique you and like they comment about you, it's a way of like saying, oh, I care about you and I want to know what's going on. But the way they do it is so brutal, and it
Yeah,
makes me
for
so
real.
uncomfortable.
For real.
Like, yeah, like maybe before I was excited to like go visit my grandparents. And like I'm still excited now, but then like a part of me is like scared and like not prepared to like be that uncomfortable, because they will literally go up to me and be like, "Oh my god, why are you so fat now? Oh my god, like are you not growing
Yeah,
anymore?"
they be they
And then
be
they will
they be acting
constantly,
like it's a roast battle, bro. They be
yeah,
acting like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
rap battle or something.
Yeah, yeah. And then they'll like just constantly like throw out like comments about you, and especially with grades and like all that. Like if they see like a certain like your grades are going down, um no matter whatever like the situation you might be going through, they won't even ask about like how
Yeah,
you're doing mentally maybe. Like they'll just go
yeah,
like, "Bam, oh my God, why are your grades so bad?" And then like it's so infuriating, even though like I respect them, but it's like, and I know it's
yeah,
tradition in Indonesia, but like it's not healthy. It's like
yeah.
not healthy at all, like mentally for like
Yeah,
kids
maybe that's why
who
parents
like,
are like, oh shit, clean up your room, clean up
yeah,
everything when guests are
yeah,
coming.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We have to clean everything when there's guests coming or the extended family is coming.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess like that's probably like the worst part of it, like how people or like your family especially can't like help you with it. So like this goes on to our next part, like how do you deal with it
Yeah,
specifically?
yeah.
So like how, yeah.
Okay. Uh, so me, like, how do I deal with social
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the social in general or like with only with my family?
It could be in general with your friends, your families, anything, like just how you deal with it,
Uh,
yeah.
for me, really, I just stand there. I just like, I just scream internally, and then once it finishes, then like, I just sleep. I just sleep. I either sleep or I actually socialize with people I actually know, and then I rant to them about it. Like that's basically how I deal with
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
don't really yeah, I don't really know how to deal with it, right? Basically, just if I mean like social like interaction that I don't want to happen, like someone's trying to talk to me, but I really don't wanna talk to them because social anxiety and stuff, right? I basically just try to make my sentences as dry as I can. So like I'm trying to get out of it and then as I do that, I try to make up an excuse on on why I should go. I'm like, oh, I gotta check on this, I gotta check on that, but I never come back. I
The
just don't.
perfect solution,
Yep.
I swear. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, also before I go to like how I deal with it, I just want to like give another disclaimer. Like being not being like socially anxious isn't like a problem that you guys have to fix immediately. Like a lot of people have it, but they might like have different levels of it, and they might have like different like ways of coping with it.
Yeah.
But it's not a problem. It's like a thing that you can go through, and you can definitely like help it. But it's not like something that you have to fix immediately. You do not have to be an extrovert constantly, or
Yeah.
you do not have to have like the perfect abilities to socialize. So
Yeah.
like just a reminder for that. And then so like with me, like okay, this is like the one thing, so I'm just gonna like bring out like the highlight of yours. Like a lot of people like try to talk to me because they think I'm like super extroverted, because I know how to like communicate. I know how to be outgoing when I want to, or like when I need to. But the problem is afterwards they think I'm still like constantly extroverted, constantly being able to
Yeah.
socialize like that. So like they come up to me, like for example, a lot of people like try to text me and stuff, and so again, I come up with like the excuses, but like not excuses, but like technically I am busy, but then I use the reality of it to make it as the reason like why I can't talk to them. And
Yeah.
like most of the times I am busy and I can't talk to them, but then like part of me is glad I'm busy, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to like actually text them and etc. Um, but then like if I'm like up to it, then of course like I won't ghost you, I won't like
Yeah.
avoid you and stuff. But then like sometimes I like literally legitimately don't want to. So like I'll use my busyness
Yeah,
as an
yeah, yeah.
excuse.
Yeah, for me,
But then
honestly,
like
it depends on the person, I guess, for me. I
yeah,
do the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
I do the same thing, but it depends on the person. And now, since I mostly socialize with with my close friends, because but the pandemic, most of the time I'll drop the thing I'm doing and just talk with them instead because I actually enjoy talking to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless I'm actually busy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's always that. And then like with like yeah, with like how I deal with it, like with like expressing it to my family and stuff. I like obviously I try to like talk to them about it, and they're getting better at like trying to understand, like I said before. And then like with my friends, um, a couple of my friends, specifically like the close ones, which I'm like so grateful for, like they understand like how I am and like how I'm not like constantly being able to like be outgoing. So like understand that, and they allow me to take my time to like recharge and stuff like that. So I'm like really grateful about it. But the problem is there are some people who just don't take a hint. They don't get it at all. And
Yeah,
it's so frustrating because you don't want to seem rude. You don't want to come off wrong, but then the problem is you can't do it anymore.
yeah,
And then they're just like it's 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 hella annoying. Just saying, just saying.
yeah, yeah.
Um so like yeah, like that's and then like you said before, I probably like after like a big event that I have maybe or like oh, I used to like before the pandemic, I used to like go through like a lot of camps. The one like most recently, even though it was like 2 years ago, it was probably like Bible camp. Like afterwards, I could feel like how socially like drained I was, especially with like my battery and stuff. So, and my parents could see that too. This is when they start realizing how I'm not that consistent with like the way I socialize. So they allow me to like take a break and like rest and like stay in my room, like be able to have like some alone time. And like if a person or like they have another event in like the close period of time with the event before that, they allow me to like not attend it unless it's like
Uh,
I have to, unless it's like yeah, unless it's very needed
yeah.
to. So
That's
like yeah,
that's
that's
nice to have your parents know. My
yeah.
parents are like they really don't know what's going on. They're
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
type. Yeah,
yeah.
my parents are the type of parents that's like they think they know you well, but they really don't. But
Yeah.
it's partly my fault. It's partly my fault because I'm a two-faced son of a bitch. I'm a two-faced son of a bitch. Yeah. So basically, like in front of my parents, I'll act different. In front of my friends, I'll act different. Yeah, and that's probably because why they think they know me well, even though. But then that's actually my fake face. I'm a fake bitch.
I mean it's totally relatable.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I like maybe like some people in some cases they are. I'm not pointing this to you, but like some people they are two faced. But like with actually like in real life, a lot of people just like it's not that they're two faced or like multiple faced, but like they adapt themselves to like the people they're hanging out with,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
technically good because
That's
like
me.
with some like with me I have like obviously like I have different schools, so I have different friend groups, and like the way I talk to them, like and the way like I'm the conversation of the topics that we're bringing up is different than the ones I had before. So obviously it'll be different. So
Yeah,
so like that I think
yeah,
that's okay unless in like in front of like older people like teachers or or like your parents you're just like super nice, you're an angel, and
yeah,
suddenly you turn into like a demonic
yeah,
child
yeah,
when you're with other people, and then
yeah, yeah.
that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing to talk about.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I don't know if it's just us because we move a lot and we adapt to all the different like type of people, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah.
general, but then like, yeah, we have that in common, right? I also like, honestly, I would say I both adapt to people and at the same time I'm two faced because me in front of teachers is I will act as innocent as I can, and in front of my parents as well, the same thing. I will act in front of teachers the same as I act in front of my parents, right? But I'm just a bit more rebellious when it comes to my parents. Just a
Yeah,
bit more,
yeah, yeah.
just a tad bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then
I can see
yeah,
that actually.
yeah. But when it
Like
comes to
like
friends or like strange, oh wait, you can talk.
no, no, it's fine, it's fine. Go on, go on.
Okay, okay. So when it comes to like friends or like maybe strangers, the way I would socialize is I would adapt on what they like or like the way they talk. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they're the type of like the nice kind of the innocent, I would adapt to that as well. I would like not try to bring the my demonic side out, the me swearing like 24/7, I guess. But then with my like current friend group, right, the friend group I'm mostly close with, we will just like cross each other 24/7. We will curse or something. I mean, I'm trying to stop that, but I can't. It's a habit, a bad one. but it's just there. It's still trying, but yeah. Yeah, basically like we were just like be insulting each other like as for something like a comedic purpose, insulting each other like 24/7. But then there's some people like some of my friends as well. I'm pretty close with. I don't do that with them because they're like the nice kind. They're the really like
The
innocent kids.
nice
So
guy.
yeah, they're the nice kind of people you shouldn't. I'm like. Shit, they're nice. I shouldn't be, corrupting. Yeah. So like,
Correct.
they're just an angel. Yeah, I have some
I
of
say,
those friends.
yeah, that
Yeah.
yeah. Same with me because like I have a friend group that's like you said, like super nice and stuff. And then like okay, I just gonna like say it, but then like with me, I am actually like not well, at least compared to like my friend group, I'm not as like I don't know how to explain it, but then like I'm not as like I don't want to say dirty, but then like dirty or like um you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
So like as they are, but then like so like some of them they know that, and so like they try to tone it down when they're with me. But then some of them they literally want me to become like them, so they're just like like well, my brain's not working. They try to like pollute me, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then but then like you said before, like if I'm with my close friends, I really actually like roasting and like teasing each other to a
Yeah.
certain level, to a certain
Yeah.
line.
That's a
It's
line.
actually like super fun like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, we got sidetracked. We totally got sidetracked.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
longer podcast.
longer podcast.
Yep.
So like basically moving to the second point, like how do you, with like us, we have like social batteries.
Yeah.
So like how do you recharge, or like, yeah, with
Yeah.
like afterwards, how do you like,
Yeah,
yeah,
for me again, it depends on the people I socialized with before. Yeah, so if it's like, family or maybe teachers or an event, I would go straight to bed and sleep and not give a about the rest of the world. Yeah, that's all. But then if it's like maybe I want like if it's friends, if it's real life socializing, then I'll do that. If it's or either that or play my games, right? But then if I actually sometimes, but it's like barely. I get tired from like socializing in the online as well. But it's barely though
yeah,
because I
yeah,
actually enjoy it most of the time. That's mostly that mostly happens if like I rage quit, because maybe my friend said some dumb stuff that like triggered me. So I'm like, what? Screw you. I'm going to bed. I'm not playing anymore. So I just rage quit or something. Or maybe they just threw the game so hard, or they just crossed the line, or something. Yeah, and then I will just stop. Sometimes I will just be like, screw you. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna go off now. I'm tired. So it depends on what
yeah,
happens, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So basic, yeah, TLDR basically the way I recharge my social battery, either games or bed. Games or
Ah,
bed.
I see, I
Yeah,
see, I
yeah,
see.
yeah. So what
With
about you?
with with me probably. Even though like it won't be with like some of my closest friends or like more distant ones. The way I feel afterwards is like absolutely the same. Like I hung out with like my closest friend group like a little while back. And then so like after we were done, we finished at like around 8. After we were done, I went home and they wanted to call, right? So we like had like a
Mm.
little group call. We were like having fun. But I was like so tired and like so drained. I legit fell asleep in the call. So I was silent, obviously. And then all of them were like scared I was mad or something. And then so like they were texting me, but then obviously I didn't read them because I was asleep. So like texting me, "Oh my god, are you mad? Are you mad? Did we ignore you? Did we do something wrong?" And then in the morning I woke up and just like I was like dead ass sleeping. I didn't have any dreams. It was just like knocked out. And then it happened so many times like that. And so all my friends and I slept pretty late too because like okay, honestly for me I'm like an early bird, but I also like sleep super late.
Same.
Yeah, yeah. So like I usually the latest I've ever slept was like 9, and I usually wake up at like 5. So like in this case I slept until like 8, and all my friends thought I was like mad because I usually get up so early and I'm usually like the first to like send memes to our group chat or stuff like that. And so like they're just like, "Oh my god, she's not replying to anything. Is she mad? Is she mad?" And then when I finally woke up, I was like, oh no, I was just like so tired. I was like, and they got all mad at me. He was like, we thought you were angry. They're like, and they're like, all panicky and stuff.
Yeah.
But then like, and then like after a while, after I explained it, they like, oh, they understood the condition
Hmm.
I was like in, and they're like the aftermath of me. So like yeah, so like how I recharge is probably like through sleeping, like being knocked out.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I just and then also like if I'm like if it's like in the middle of the day, because I can't really take naps. I have a hard time taking naps. So if I can't like sleep, I'd probably like have some alone time just like with me by myself while I recharge. So
Hmm.
either like read books or listen to music, draw, etc. and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
For me same. If I just really can't sleep, I will just scroll on TikTok or just YouTube. But then
Scroll on TikTok.
if I feel productive, I would like try to improve my drawing, or like try to
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
more songs on the guitar and stuff. Yeah, even I'm not playing games, that is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
So like
basically, next to the next topic then. Okay. So now we're going to basically talk about how we can talk to people about it. So you wanna go first about this or?
yeah, yeah, sure. So basically with me, I'll start with like the closest people around me, like my family. So the first time I started realizing it was like at an early age where I found it really uncomfortable to like talk to a large group of people or like socialize for a long period of time. At first I kept it to myself because I thought at that time I thought I was just like tired, like there's a lot going on. I might just need like some more rest. But then eventually it started becoming like a cycle where it happened a lot. And then when I was younger, my parents worked and they went through a lot of events with like their other like workers or like and with their friends and stuff. So they would always want me and my sisters to go with them and like to like be able to socialize with their friends' kids. And I would be like super tired, and they started noticing that I started like getting like really sick afterwards because
Mm.
it was like they had like it was a short period of time before the next event, and it would like keep on going on, and I started like getting like
Yeah.
really sick, and so like my parents started like confiding confiding me with it, and then like when I started um knowing that like social anxiety was a thing because I was still young at that
Yeah.
time. I was like, oh, maybe this is what's wrong. Like, maybe I should talk to my parents about it. So like after that, I talked to them for a while, and after that, because my parents, no offense, they're kind of like stubborn sometimes, especially before they're
Yeah.
like strict and stubborn. So there's like, no, you're probably just like too tired of like exercising and stuff. You just need to like sleep more and stuff. But then eventually they started after like a while they started like realizing, oh, maybe she does have like social anxiety and like bad social battery. So like after we had like a talk about it. Like I said before, me and my family are pretty close, even like sometimes it can get a bit hectic, but we're
Yeah.
pretty close nonetheless. So like I talked to about them, and then so they started like adapting to like how they would invite me to certain events, and seeing my condition with it. Um, so yeah. But then the thing is, sometimes because we have hybrid, like I said before, and we have to go to school sometimes, even though we don't like have to, we can stay online. But then like this one time, it's like I don't hate my parents for it, but at that moment I really hate how they were acting. I was like
Mm.
super tired because we had an event the day before, and then I didn't recharge to my fullest. Like I barely recharged at all. And I was super tired, and then my mom was forcing me to go to school. And then I like and I usually if my parents say like no, I'll accept it, but this time I was like super tired, and they kept on like forcing me and pushing me. My dad, after a while, he finally like understood me, so he said, oh, it's okay if you want to stay at home. But my mom like was just like, no, she has to go. She has to go. And so like after that, I was knocked out. I got a little bit sick.
Mm.
So that was like kind of like the bad thing.
Yeah.
And the thing was with parents, sometimes they don't know how to like apologize,
Yeah.
and it's so annoying because like they're like wrong. They know they're wrong, but they just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things.
That's the thing with Asian parents. They never
Yeah, yeah,
apologize. Like
Asian parents.
yeah. They never apologize. But then if they realize they're actually wrong, they'll just like come to your room out of nowhere, like, "Hey, you want this? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you."
Yeah,
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 they
yeah.
just never
Like
apologize. They never the word
like
sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. With my mom, she'll just be like she'll like she my dad I'm so grateful that my dad like learned how to apologize. So like he's
Mm.
willing to still apologize. But with my mom, she's so stubborn. She never wants to admit she's wrong. So like if she does something wrong and she knows she's wrong, but she doesn't want to say sorry, she'll go to my room and I'll be like laying on my bed or something, and she'd be like, "Hey, I cooked you your favorite meal, or I bought you this," or like she'll be like, "Oh, do you wanna like tomorrow? Do you wanna like do something that I really like together?" And I'm just like, seriously, you could have just said sorry. I mean, I appreciate the effort, but like,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with saying sorry, you
yeah, true.
know?
For me, my mom and
Um,
my dad still pretty much the same, still doing the same thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't really get it. I mean, I find it the same as them saying sorry because they still, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's basically the same for me. I've like used to it. I've adapted to it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then like, yeah, so like with my friends, usually, I don't want to talk to about it because like sometimes they think it's an excuse to like say no to their hangouts. But then like sometimes like I'm actually tired. So like some people, like I said before, they understand and they know like my boundaries and they know when they should stop. And like so I like that's a good thing about that.
yeah,
Um and like besides that, I think like the way like I tell people that I'm like bad at socializing, like pretty okay. Like oh yeah, so like basically if you do want to like tell them that you're like not socially or like mentally ready for like any socializing and stuff like that, tell it in like a soft way. Don't be like don't snap at them. This is a thing that some people do wrong. They're just like way too tired at some certain points and they just snap at people because they can't understand. But the thing is like um it will test your patience.
yeah,
But just like take the time to explain it to them because they might not understand. And then just like explain to them the situation you're in and how you are tired at some point, and just like take yeah.
yeah,
Basically the main point is take your time to tell them about it, and hopefully they understand it, you know.
yeah. Yeah, in my case, really, I actually still have this problem talking to other people. Yeah, so like I still have a problem with talking. I think when it comes to how you said like your friends, oh you're using it as an excuse for like not hanging out. I don't think it really.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's just me and my friends or I don't or like just generally like the boys, I guess. I'm not sure if it's just like if it's just me and my friends, but then I feel like I guess girls like when it comes to social not talking to friends, they will think you're just as an excuse not wanting to be friends with them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For I think for me, my friends, or maybe just the boys in general, I'm not sure. But for in my experience, we're clueless on what's happening on the other person's end. Uh, Honestly, for me, I'm not really that clueless. I would be like a bit worried, if there like something's happening to our like, oh, are they like socially tired or something? They're burnt out.
Yeah, yeah.
But then for the rest of my friends, they're just clueless. Yeah, they don't know anything. Basically, I'm pretty sure. I don't. Yeah. So I mean, I talked to one of my friends, and now they actually like no. I'm pretty. Sometimes I get tired socially, or like I have insecurities, like my anxiety and shit, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
actually, I started like realizing, about my social anxiety, my insecurities and stuff, and other stuff, pretty early, like 2 years ago, like when the pandemic started, is when I started realizing, So
Mm.
that's like probably the lowest point of my life, like,
Ah,
yeah, not only me like being social awkward in grade 8, like and then like my grades dropping, and then me being insecure about everything, like being anxious about everything, and then I was actually being an asshole. I was being an asshole for like this one time. We were playing this game called Overwatch, right? And then I had like
mm-hmm.
such a big ego of myself at that time. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I'm the best at this game. You guys are so bad, right? And because of
Oh,
that, yeah, yeah. So I regret, I hate myself for that. So after that, I'm like, I just got like, after realizing I was like a asshole, I was like, I just got into a depressive state. I won't say I was depressed, because I wasn't diagnosed, I wouldn't
yeah,
diagnose
yeah, yeah.
myself.
Don't. Yeah,
But then I just felt depressed, But then I don't know
yeah,
if I
yeah,
was
yeah.
into actually depressed. And then that was probably the lowest point of my life. Me, everything being shitty, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was so hard for me to like to talk with people. Uh, Actually, until now, it's still hard for me. Like, I've talked to some people like until now. Of course, if probably I would have like still not know how to socialize and probably be sad as until now if I didn't talk to some people. But then now I talk to like one of my bestie that I met,
Yeah, bestie.
my friend, like the closest friend I'm with. Now he's like he actually knows what's going on. And then like so if I said I just don't wanna play, I just don't feel like playing today, he would like understand. He just like plays with the
Uh,
rest and then like says okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Those people are the best,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
And like yeah, like you mentioned during like the whole pandemic, like um me like being okay, so the thing is, okay, this is like the wrong mindset that a lot of people have, that introverts or like people who have like social anxiety constantly want to be alone, um
Mm.
and like just like don't want other people around, but like that's not, that's wrong. It's just like um when for example for me, because I'll use myself as an example, I do want to socialize, but the aftermath is really bad. So like during the pandemic, like I okay, I lost. I don't want to say it like as a bad thing, but then like you see who the people who actually want to talk to you and who are just doing it because of like school and etc. Because like um let's just say like a lot of my friends before the pandemic and now are like totally different. We're like super like some of us are like super far and some of us are like super close. And like that's the thing I've realized. It's not that I want to constantly be alone, but I want to socialize to a certain like amount. So that like obviously I'm still a human being and human beings
Yeah.
need to socialize and etc. But like uh, the people I socialize with needs to be like specific
Yeah.
and like the amount of time I socialize too, because like um, I've also realized if I like take my self back from like socializing for like a super long time, I do want to socialize, but then like for to a certain amount with a certain uh type of people and etc.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I agree with that. Like a lot of people thinks that introverts are basically they just like socializing, other
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But then in my case, actually, from our like psychology test, actually, right? I got, apparently I'm an introvert, right? But then I actually really enjoy socializing, like
Yeah,
hanging
yeah,
out with
yeah.
friends, talking with friends. I really enjoy like talking with people because I would feel lonely as a lot of the times. So yeah. Yeah, so I actually enjoyed it a lot. It's just the fact that I don't know how to properly like conversate with
Yeah,
people I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So I don't know how to make friends with strangers and stuff. Yeah, that's what I don't know. That's and then like my social battery as well. So like yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Other than that, I
That's,
actually really enjoy talking with people. So like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like I super enjoy talking to people and socializing with them if like we have like the same,
Yeah, the same
how do you
vibe.
say,
You
the
click.
same
Yeah, yeah.
vibe.
Vibe
um
check.
yeah, so like I can socialize like I can socialize pretty well like if I'm like introducing myself to like new people. I can do
Mm.
that like especially with like school. um I can I can be like super attentive and stuff. It's just like I don't know, I like, but it's just like as much as I do like it, like I said before, after hanging out with my friends, I enjoy it so much. Like I love hanging out with my friends. It's just like the afterwards, you just feel drained, even though
Yeah,
you
yeah.
might not want to, even though you enjoyed it. It's just like you feel drained. And it's not that we hate socializing. It's like people have to get out of that mindset first, so they can like understand how introverts or like ambiverts and like people as such, how they feel in like certain
Yeah.
situations and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay,
basically it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like the next one is basically how to socialize better whilst keeping your social battery in check.
I'm still having problems with that. I mean, for me, the only way I deal with that is basically just recharging it afterwards. I guess not really, doing that. I mean, as long as it doesn't like happen to like, make sure you're not burnt out. I guess you're not socially burnt
Yeah,
out
yeah,
because
yeah.
like, if people you need to like know how to say no because like people
Yeah,
asking you to hang out or maybe talk can't just like say oh yeah sure even though you really don't wanna you gotta like actually say no so yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's like the thing with me is I have a super hard time saying no to people. And like me and Mario actually talked about this like 2 days ago,
Yeah,
and like it's super bad. And I'm
yeah,
trying to get better at like like setting my limits. But then like yeah, it's still hard. So like for me personally, like my tips on like for example, you have like for example, like I said before, I usually go to like a lot of camps. And like it's like usually like at least 2 to 3 days of like where you're with a bunch of people. and it can be super tiring. For me, it's like if you don't want to like drain your social battery that fast, with like for people who like go on like down slowly and not like long and like not like Mario who like in the end is like dropped out or like burnt out, for
Yeah.
example. Um, like some people who like go down slowly, progressively. Um, maybe it's like probably keep like a certain group of people that you talk to like during the hangout or during the time that you're or situation or event you're in. So like you already know them and you're like comfortable with talking to them. And you know them enough not to like have a hard time socializing with them. So basically, yeah. And then besides that, don't this is okay, this is like what Mario said and what I have a problem with. Don't
Yeah.
force yourself to do things or like talk to people that much if you're not up to it. Because like that's
Yeah.
a problem a lot of people have, including me
Yeah.
nowadays, that they don't
Yeah.
set up their own boundaries. So like
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the yeah.
I actually got socially burnt out once from that. I kind of mentioned it, I guess, before, like my lowest point in like the pandemic, I guess. Like I just played 24/7 with my friends like in online games. And then I actually got socially burnt out after like just not talking to anyone about my anxiety and stuff, insecurities and stuff. So I got burnt out, and then I had to talk to my friend, and I just like had a whole day of not doing anything. I just like stayed in bed. Either I slept and then went out to eat like lunch or something, or I just scrolled through TikTok for a couple minutes and then go back to bed and then sleep. So yeah, like a whole day of me just sleeping. And then the next day I actually said I stopped, like I just reduced, I guess, socializing. Not really, just like if I don't feel like it, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's like all for like this topic specifically
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
like the whole social anxiety and being like an introvert, ambivert, etc. Do you have anything more to add, or should we move on to the 3 a.m. questions?
Um, that should be all that I have to share, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Me too, me too. Okay, so basically, in every episode that we have in this podcast, we'll be asking 3 a.m. questions. And for those who are listening, I totally
Yeah.
forgot to ask in Instagram for
Yeah.
your guys, like your 3
Questions
a.m.
about
questions
us.
for
Yeah.
us. Um, so we just like I made a few 3 a.m. questions that we'll both be
Yeah.
asking, and then like maybe we'll take some of these questions and we'll ask you guys on Instagram, so you guys can be the one who answers later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to ask first or me?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the first question: do you have a weird of collection of things? And if you do, what is it?
Okay, so like I have like other collections so that they're like normal. So this is like weird. So I don't know why, but I like collecting like socks. Not like normal socks and like not like that I like hang up or anything, but like I actually use them. But they're like either like fun pattern socks, like weird like print on them or like fuzzy socks, etc. Like if I could state them out loud, this is probably weird and probably like TMI for like everyone out there, but then like currently like I have like Pac-Man socks, like donut socks. I have like these rainbow socks. And then I have like an owl sock, and like, obviously fuzzy socks. You always have to have fuzzy socks. And currently I'm wearing my Pink Panther socks, so that's great.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Is that all? Is that
I
all
mean,
you
I should
the
probably
weird
stop
things you collect?
talking.
I
I
mean,
should probably stop talking
okay.
before it gets
Understandable.
weirder.
Understandable. For me, I don't really. It's more of a nerdy type, I guess. Okay, so the first nerdy thing I collect basically, Pokemon cards. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, but then I stopped collecting them basically because I just like I have better things to spend my money on. So like yeah, but then I still have like my old collection. So when I was little, I started collecting Pokemon cards because I was like so into Pokemon. I was like watch the first series I actually finished, like the full thing I watched was Pokemon XYZ, and then I started watching Sun and Moon, but then I quit. So like yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I was like such a big
okay.
fan of that show, and then I started playing the games. I bought a DS just to play Pokemon X, I think. Yeah, I bought a DS to just
Nice,
play that.
nice.
and then also played the Moon, but I didn't finish that. And then after that, I started collecting. I knew the worlds of Pokemon cards, so I started collecting them. And then I actually have like some pretty. I think one of my cards, if I'm not wrong, is worth $50 if it's like mint a 9 mint. If I'm not wrong, one of the cards.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. I have like an album, and I have a couple like boxes. What like full?
Boxes.
That's like not that big boxes, but like I would say around like 15 by 15 centimeters lah. But then it's
Oh,
also
okay.
a
That.
tall. Yeah, 15 by
Yeah,
15
yeah, yeah.
by 5 centimeters. The height is 5 centimeters basically. Yeah, and then like it's full of cards. Like I have three of them probably. Three that's full of cards.
Nice.
Yeah, and
You
then my
know,
album of the rare ones that I actually like protect until now because what if I just want to sell
nice.
them? What if I want to sell them in the future? Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool though. When I was younger, I used to be obsessed with collecting stickers. Like you, but except it's like stickers. I used to have like freaking
Mm.
albums and books of stickers, and it was so weird. And then the
I
thing
remember when that
was,
was like trendy or something like in those days.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember, yeah,
Like
my
a bunch
sister
of
used to
my
have
friends
one.
before, yeah, yeah, yeah. A bunch of my friends before were also like obsessed with collecting stickers. So we would go to school, we'd bring our album of stickers, and we would trade.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like looking at it now, I'm just like, what the heck?
I have I have something even worse than that. I have like, but then I don't. I used to do it like as a kid. It used to be a trendy thing, like when, especially at I was at Papua. So do you know Choki Choki, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
For
yeah, yeah,
for the listeners that doesn't know, it's basically like a chocolate treat. It's like
yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of melted chocolate inside a long plastic, like a small
It's
but
almost like
long
yeah,
plastic. Yeah.
you
And
suck,
then
yeah, you
you
suck
squeeze
the
it out and then
chocolate,
you
yeah,
suck it. Yeah, you suck the chocolate out of the
yeah,
plastic
yeah.
bag. Yeah. So if you buy a box of that, you will get like a whole plastic bag of this Bobo Boy cardboard like cutouts.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I was. Yeah, so as a kid, I was such a Bobo Boy fanboy, right? Because I mean, nearly almost like
Yeah,
boys
yeah,
were
yeah.
like that. Yeah, so I would like whenever I go to hypermart. Surprisingly, Choki Choki, a whole box of Choki Choki is like pretty cheap. Surprisingly, so my mom would let me buy a whole box just so I can get a plastic full of cardboard. It's literally just a cardboard with a printout. Like just that's all. I mean,
I think it,
yeah, and then there was like the app, like the AR app where you can scan it and then you can play rock
yeah.
paper scissors. You play literally, it's rock paper scissors. It was the
But,
stupidest thing to
but
collect, but it was so fun as a kid.
yeah, 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 yeah. As a child, like okay, so like obviously like my childhood wasn't like the Indonesian type childhood with like Upin Ipin and
Yeah,
like Bobo
oh
Boy.
boy.
But then like when I came to Indonesia, and all my friends were like obsessed with it. I looked at it as a kid and I thought it was like pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Like and and it's like you know that one guy in Bobo Boy who has the powers to make stuff turn into food.
yeah, 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 yeah. I forgot his, what is
It's
his name? I forgot his name.
like I mean, like it was pretty cool. Like when the first time I came to
Yeah,
Indonesia, it was like really cool.
yeah. I remember. Oh, talking about Bobo Boy. You know Bobo Boy Galaxy?
Yes,
I
yes,
remember
yes.
like the theme song. I will scream it every time, like Bobo Boy Galaxy. Yeah. I remember always like scream it every time I would play it on speakers.
You know, my friends and I, like in my old school, we would. It was still in fourth grade. Like it was still like early age, so we were transitioning from like third grade to
Yeah, yeah.
fourth grade.
It was
Um,
like around that
yeah,
year
yeah,
that
yeah,
was trendy. It was
yeah,
around
yeah,
that year
yeah.
it was trendy.
And then we were like going on this field trip, and we were obviously on the bus, and like we would scream our heads off singing to like Bubble Boy and like all those like random like show tunes, you know.
Yeah,
But it was fun. It was
yeah, it
hella
was.
fun.
But then looking at it now, you're like, I was collecting cardboard printouts. What was I doing? Waste
It
of
was
money.
awesome.
It made memories, but it was a
Yeah,
waste
yeah,
of
yeah.
money. Like you were just collecting cardboard. Yeah.
Oh, like stepping out of like the topic of it. What was like your childhood like shows and stuff?
Childhood shows.
Yeah, like movies, shows.
I had a couple of phases when I was like still actually small, still a toddler. I didn't understand anything. It was the usual stuff, the Bobo Boy, Upin Ipin, those kinds of cartoons, the Indonesian cartoons. And then once I started like, and then after that I started watch. I found out this thing called YouTube when I was a kid. It's around like after the Bobo Boy phase. I was like, uh, and then because I watched so much YouTube, Now, as you can see, I just can't talk Indonesian. I just talk English. But then actually, yeah, talking about that as well. I have a really Indonesian accent, but then I at the same time I don't talk Indonesian like Manadunese accent, but then I talk English. I understand and speak English better than I do Indonesian. It's just my pronunciation and accent makes it bad. I know how to properly pronounce it, but my accent makes
Yeah,
me like,
yeah.
no, even though that's how you pronounce it properly, you're gonna say it this way anyways. So sometimes I will say like person, I will say person for some reason, like out of nowhere, and then I'll like, wait, why did I say that? Like I will just like butcher the pronunciation. Yeah, okay. Going out of that, basically after going on that Bobo Boy phase, I will go into this. This is my like superhero phase, the one that's memorable until now. It stays until now. I will go like, oh my god, Teen Titans. You remember the OG Teen Titans on
Oh
like
my God,
Cartoon
the
Network?
original one, the original
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
original,
yeah.
the OG one. That was like such a good show, honestly. For its time, it was really
And
good.
then like I was so sad when Cartoon Network changed it into like now where they're just like literally they have so little of like saving like the earth, like being actual superheroes, and they just like okay, no offense, this might be a little bit inappropriate, but they legit freaking twerk on a kid show. Cartoon Network
I don't remember
make
that.
Teen Titans twerk. I'm
I
just
don't
like, what
remember that.
why did you ruin it? Why did you ruin it? It
Wow.
was so
Okay.
good.
Yeah. New Gen Z humor, guys. Yep. Great. Where kids
Like
get
for
to
like
see cartoons twerk.
yeah, exactly. But and like for me, like I said before, I don't have like much like my childhood was like kind of different from like
Mm.
Indonesian because like of the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
actually living in Indonesia. Um, but so like basically when I was like super small, probably like Little Einstein, so good. The theme song, so good. I should be obsessed with
yeah.
Little
Little
Einstein.
Einstein, yeah, Little Einstein is like one of those Bobo Boy shows, but it's just English instead of Indonesian.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like okay, there's like Little Einstein, and then Barney, Dora,
Yep.
Teletubbies.
Yeah,
Um,
Teletubbies.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the ultimate one, High Five.
Oh my god!
I was
Oh,
obsessed.
you're unlocking memories
Opening
that
memory.
I never knew existed. Holy crap! I just remembered about that show.
High Five.
Oh my god! I remember I watched it like I think that's what started my English actually. High five.
I was obsessed with it.
Oh my god,
I
same.
swear. Like after school, I would literally run to like the living room, and I would turn on the TV,
Same,
and then I
same.
would just like start bopping to like the songs and
Yeah,
everything. It
when it,
was
yeah,
so
the
good.
opening. Dude, like
And like the
you talk. You talk.
okay, so like you remember the OG cast of High Five? There was like
Yeah.
there's Tim, there's Kelly, there's
You
Charlie.
remember them? I don't like I remember the
Duh!
names. Oh my
I
god.
they were my freaking idols. There was like okay, there's Tim, there's Charlie, there was Catherine, I think her name was
I don't
Kelly,
remember.
and do you remember the puppets Jup Jup and
Yeah, yeah,
Chatterbox?
yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah. Yeah, dude.
memories
Oh my god.
unlocked.
Talking about high five, there was another thing that I remember, like another show similar, but instead of like the way high five is, it's like an art show. Do you know? I don't know
um,
the name.
um, they had the wait. This is this the one where they had like the coconut, the palm tree?
I'm not sure. I just remember like time to time they will go into a widescreen and like they will bring in some kids and they will draw like they will add some random stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I just remember they would like animate inanimate objects. I mean obviously, but like they would make it alive. I just remember
yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
art show. I don't know what it is,
I
but
watched it too. Wait,
yeah,
damn, damn.
yeah, can't
But
remember
then
the
like,
name.
yeah, yeah, like the more like earlier ones that are more probably more familiar is probably like obviously Sophia the First,
Yeah.
Miles from Tomorrowland, Star versus the Forces of Evil, and I don't
Oh
know
my
about
God,
you, but
Star
I was
versus Force of
yeah,
Evil.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know about you, but I was obsessed with like Thundermint, Haunted Hathaways, Henry Danger, and all of that.
Henry
I
Danger
was
definitely.
so good.
Yeah.
It was like probably like one of the best parts of my childhood was like watching all these shows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for me, other than that, actually, it reminded me in one of the show, Kick Butowski. Do you know that?
Oh my god. No
Literally,
words. Oh my
that's
god.
like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the main one I watch like when as a child on like the Cartoon Network Nickelodeon. That's the main one I watch, Kick Buttowski, because I thought he was so cool as a kid.
There was also another one about a camp. It was camp uh um
When you try to remember childhood jokes, but you can't. It's really
I
fun.
know. It's so sad though. I used to
Yeah.
be obsessed with it. Like I would have sleepovers with my friend when I was younger, and then we would end our nights watching a bunch of those episodes. I was like camp oh my god, I forgot. It was so fun though. It was so fun.
Can tell. Yeah, dude. Yeah, basically.
Uh
Yeah. Other than that, my childhood is mostly like at least the thing I remember the most, right? MCU, because it's honestly just a great universe, especially Iron Man. No, you know what's the best part? My dad's the one that got me into it. So my dad, if any time an MCU movie comes out, me and my dad like, hey, new movie,
oh my god.
watch, you know. So like, yeah, that's the best part. My dad's like an MCU nerd as
That's
well.
my dad is actually so like now that I realize it, my dad like knows a lot of things. Like he came up to me once and he was like, "Oh, did you watch the Ariana Grande show thing? She looks so pretty there." And I'm just like, "Damn, dad." And he was just like and he was like, "Oh yeah, there was like this new song from Taylor Swift." I was like, "Okay, damn, okay."
Yeah,
And
me
like
catching
he
up.
like all like yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like he likes all like the Marvel like the MCU and like all of that. And
Mm,
like he also likes DC too. So like it's nice to have like
yeah,
someone to like go out with like you.
yeah,
Uh
yeah,
anyways, we should move on to the next question, bro.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so the next
Okay, okay.
question.
What's your favorite decor on your desk or side table or nightstand? This is
Okay,
random, but oh
it
well.
is. It's okay. I'm looking at my nice side right now. I have to say, I have my two of my actually three. It's not really the third one isn't really the core, but whatever. I'll just mention it. Okay, so the first one, my wireless charger. Actually, no, not even wireless charger, just charger in general. No, cable
Yeah,
honestly is
yeah,
better. I would rather
yeah.
cable
Okay.
because I want to be able to charge it while using it. But then if I'm just too lazy to plug it in, I'll just slap it in and then sleep. Slap it on
Ah,
the
yeah,
other side.
okay, okay.
My second one is crap. What are they called? Like a diffuser? Is it what they're
You
called?
could like do a little show and tell, literally. You
Is
can
it
have like
is
a
it
little
what
show and tell.
is that what it's called? A diffuser? Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, basically that because my nose gets blocked a lot and then it just smells nice in general. So like yeah. And then my third one, it's not really a decor, but I need water beside me. I just need to have water
Duh.
beside me, man. I'm a thirsty bitch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's basically all. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, actually, this is like stepping out of it. Just like for water, okay. I used to be okay from the pandemic until like a month ago. I was so good at drinking water. Like I would like constantly have like a huge ass water bottle beside me, and I would drink constantly, and I'd keep on refilling it, and it
Mm.
was all good. But then suddenly, I don't know why, a month ago, I was just like, frick it, I'm not gonna drink water. So now this is a bad habit. I'm trying to get into drinking water again, but like I've noticed that I've only the most water I've drank in a day is like 2 cups.
Two
And it's not
cups?
even a full cup. It's not even a full cup. It's like
You really gotta get that checked out.
I know. I'm trying to put like an alarm on like a timer like
Mm.
every few hours to like at
Yeah,
least
that's
drink
a good
a cup.
solution. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But then like you know,
yeah.
I'm trying to
Honest.
keep a water bottle beside my table too, but then
Mm.
it's just like I'm
Yeah.
trying. I used to be so good.
Yeah. Honestly, I
Anyways,
don't get people that hate water. Like, in my opinion, it's
yeah,
just so refreshing. It's just nice.
yeah, I love water.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's
the
not just,
habit of
not only
drinking.
it's healthy for you. It's good.
It's good. It's
It's
good. It's
refreshing. Yeah.
refreshing. It's like
Yeah.
especially like it's the best feeling like after like me personally like after I play badminton or go on a run with my dad, I come home and then drink water. It is so good.
For
Like
me, it's while
I
eating.
either
That's the best time to drink water. So yeah. Yeah.
I either drink like freaking a huge amount of water. Like right now, not before because like right now it's so inconsistent. I either drink like a huge amount of water in one go or like no water at all in a day, and it's so bad. I apologize for those listening.
My God.
Okay. So wait. So my favorite decor, actually, like that's my desk back there. Um, so I have like these. Uh, so I have like these like
Sorry.
rocks, or they're sort of like crystals, like gems, etc. like that, but they're like pretty big. Um, so basically, my dad came home from Mexico. Like this was like a little while back, and then he was just like, "Oh yeah, it turns out in Mexico they have like a bunch of these like really cool rocks," and I was just like, "Damn, okay." So he gave them to me, and I just have like them like settled on my
Uh,
desk on like the top shelf there in front of my books. So like yeah, I really like those. Uh,
Honestly, I would
okay.
like, I would like if I have something like that, I won't bother to put it on a desk. I'll put it on a shelf. I would never touch because I move my desk a lot. Like me sleeping, I'll smack the shit out of it, and then it'll be gone in like the next morning. So
You
yeah.
you're like my sister. I'm actually like a pretty still sleeper, but my sister, she's like the literal full package when she sleeps. She talks in her sleep. She like moves around a lot, and then like okay, so when we were younger, we shared a bed. We shared a bed,
Mm.
right? So my sister, in the night, she would sleep. Okay, so this is like okay, this is the bed. This is her. The next morning, she wakes up like this, and
Okay.
then her face, her my face has her foot on it.
Okay.
So
Wait.
it's great.
Wait. I gotta justify myself. I'm not like that. By swinging my hand,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
meant
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
okay. So like time to time, I would like wake up at the most randomest time in the nighttime. Like I just can't sleep properly. It's
Yeah, I
not.
do
It's
that. I
not.
do that
It's
too.
not.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that while sleeping, I will move a lot. But after waking up from sleeping, I will stretch a lot. When I wake up, I would like. I just can't. I will
Yeah.
just like do this and shit, and I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
direct my
yeah, yeah,
legs
yeah.
like, gotta do that. And then while doing that, I just knock everything on my on my nightstand off. That's when I knock it off, but not while sleeping. That's my
But like,
brother.
yeah.
That's my brother. That that motherfucker be like fighting fucking uh, Floyd Mayweather or something in his dream. Like hell, he's fighting Muhammad Ali with him moving everywhere. Like bro, what the hell? Like the same thing as yours, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
sleeping like at first they're sleeping like this and then they wake up like this. But then
Yeah. I don't get it.
other than their foot being in my face, while they're moving, they will kick like hard. They actually like kick hardly. They were like
Exactly.
boom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The amount of times my sister has slapped me and
Slap.
kicked me while I was sleeping. I was just like, what the heck? She turns into a demon while she sleeps. Like, what the?
Okay, maybe not slap, but punch is it. For me, it's
Yeah,
punch,
yeah, yeah.
not slap.
But either there's like slapping, kicking, punching, all of the
The whole
above.
package, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, other than
Okay, okay.
that, for yeah, other than that actually, for me, out of nowhere, I started developing like sleepwalking. It barely happens, but like it happens time to time, like once every 6 months or something. This one time, yeah,
Damn.
this is the one I remember. This is the one I remember. So like, I was actually I was conscious, but at the same time, I wasn't.
Oh.
So I just went up like in an apartment, right? Because I didn't actually live at Jakarta. It was just holiday. This is when I was still at Manado. I just like woke up out of nowhere. I just stood still, and then my mom was like, "Mario, are you okay?" And then I went to her bed, and then I slept like not slept, but I just sat like I was just sitting still like this, like. And
Uh-huh,
then
uh-huh.
my face was right, and I was like, "Where is the stairs?" Like out of nowhere, I just asked, "Where's the stairs?" Like I was asking like tangga mana, right? I was like that, and then but then
What?
what I was thinking about, I was having a dream right at the same time. I was conscious that I was sitting on my mom's bed, but then what I was thinking about, I was saying stairs, but then I didn't know what I was saying. What I just knew, I was thinking of a, you know, the Minecraft diamond sword. So you know how it's pixely, right? And it goes up like a stair.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
was thinking of that, and then I said stair. That's what I was thinking. I remember specifically. And then the next morning, I was like, and my mom was like talking about it. I was like, stairs? And then I was like, oh, I did say stairs, but why did I say that? I was just like, why did I do that? Why did I? Yeah, that's basically it. I just like it happens time to time, but it not much. So far in 2021, it
Wow.
never happened. In 2021, it never happened so far.
So far, so
Yep.
far. Okay.
Okay, the next question.
Okay. Um. So, next question.
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry. Who's the last person you called?
Obviously, like besides, like technically, like we're in a call right
Yeah.
now, but
Yeah.
besides like this,
Technically.
I called Nathan before.
Yeah, it's
Not
fine.
the Nathan from our
Oh, I
class,
thought Nathan
the
from our
other
class.
Nathan. Yeah.
Okay. For me it
What
was
about you?
my friend Rafa. We were like playing before, so like yeah, we were playing a game,
Okay,
so we
okay, okay.
called in Discord. That was a pretty short question.
Okay.
Yeah, next question.
If you could live in a book, movie, or like series, what would it be?
I don't really
Wait, can you
know.
hold that thought? My laptop is about to die. I didn't get the
Okay,
charger.
okay,
Wait, I'm just
okay.
getting my charger.
Yeah, yep,
Okay. Wait.
yep. All good.
Um, you could probably like cut this out later. So like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let me get comfortable as you do that.
That was such bad timing. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. Can just cut it off.
Okay, wait. Okay, okay. Back to the question.
Okay. Wait. Okay. So basically, I'm pretty confused. I don't really know because most of the things I enjoy either is fucked up and like I mean there's some things enjoyable, but then
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
some things you would not like to see. You would not like to see a 100-meter tighter in real life. I gotta
Yes.
like think about this, like actually think.
The brain
If I
cells
could
gotta
live
start.
in book movie series, I would say like I want to live in the MC universe, but then I will most
But then
likely
like there's a bunch of
die.
weird.
I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
probably
yeah.
die.
Like every
um.
day there's a new villain,
Yep.
new hero.
Hmm. Where would I be? I don't really know because all of them is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Or like, yeah. There's always like the strings attached to it. Like if you ever.
Yeah.
What about like
Hmm.
a reality TV show such?
I don't really watch reality TV shows. But then, oh, if like something tame, I guess like something pretty
Yes,
normal,
same.
I would say any slice of life anime, and I want to be the protagonist because a free girl. Like you know how weebs like they get obsessed over their fucking waifus and stuff.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, that's basically it. Any slice of life anime I would like to be in. Okay, if I had to choose one, it's the Seishun no Buta. It's like the bunny girl senpai anime.
Yeah. Okay,
You watch
okay,
it? Did
yeah,
you watch it?
totally.
Did you watch it?
Uh, my my friends at first my friends like wanted me to start watching like anime, so they
Okay.
presented to me that and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like okay, I can like okay,
yeah.
I can yeah,
Like
it's
like my Sakurajima is just such a great person. I just want her as my girlfriend. Like imagine being the protagonist. Like, bro. I mean, there is some up shit, but like, yeah, it's out of like compared to
tamer than the
everything else I was
others.
pretty into.
Yeah.
I was like crying the fuck out when I saw her like get
All my
when she died in the movie. But I mean, like they turned back time, right? Basically. But when I saw that, I was crying the fuck out.
the friend who introduced me to it was just like, I don't care if I'm gonna spoil it to you, but then like I freaking cried because she died and everything, and
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, why did you? Yeah. But it's fine,
It
it's
was
fine.
so sad. But then the ending was great. Like everything was happy. Maya gets to live, and then the little girl also gets to live. So like, yeah, I forgot her name. I forgot her name. I rewatched it 3 times and I don't remember her name.
Damn, 3 times.
Yes, it was like that good. So yeah, that's
Uh,
probably the one I want to live in.
I know a bunch of people would probably do the same. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
For me, okay, I'm like willing to take the like risk if, for example, like one of like the like book that I want to live in is either like the whole demigod like Percy Jackson world, even though I might get killed by like a monster like straight when I go into Camp Half Blood, but then like it's cool and you get powers, you're part god. But but then like besides that, probably the Grisha verse as
Mm.
well. Either okay, so either like the demigod world or the Grisha verse, or obviously like the whole like wizarding, witches and wizarding
Mm.
world, Harry Potter. I mean that's cool. That's cool. And then like even like to go like in more extreme, obviously the MCU.
Honestly, I can't really
Uh,
say MCU because most likely if you live in it, you'll just be a normal citizen and then you
yeah, yeah,
die.
yeah, yeah.
You die
Yeah, that's the problem. Like I only want to go into like certain like
as a hero or
books, movies
something.
or
Yeah,
series
yeah.
as a hero, like as a
As the
person.
main
Like it doesn't
character.
even have to. Yeah, it doesn't like even being okay. I'm intrigued of like being a villain because like they're cool.
I can't disagree with you. I really can't disagree with you. Okay. Okay. So if the question was if you live in a if you could live in a book, movie series, etc., and you get really good superpowers or like really good
Yeah, like special
powers, I
abilities.
will
Yeah.
choose. Honestly, if have you ever heard of this quirky little thing called Undertale? Have you? No.
Actually, no, no.
Okay. It has a really bad reputation. It's like if you like actually know the story and stuff, like the way people create stuff, it'll be really like beautiful because it's just like it's great, right? But then it has a really bad reputation with the people being cringe. It's basically like Dream SMP, but then Dream SMP is YouTubers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This one is just like a game. It's a game. So in this game, basically, like to give context, right? This human fell into into an underground, where like from a mountain. It's called Mount Ebot, basically. And in the underground, turns out like millions of years ago, there was a war between humans and monsters, and then like the humans won, and then they locked the monsters underground. So now there's only a couple hundred or thousand monsters while there's billions of humans on the earth, right? Yeah, so
Hmm.
basically there's one kid that fell into the hole has to like go through and they can choose which path they go. They can either go neutral, genocide, or pacifist. Pacifist is a living hell for your life. You basically have to like through the whole game you can't hurt anyone, you have to be nice to everyone. And then if you genocide, this is like the villain. So you have to go every in the game. If you walk around, you will encounter an enemy. So if you walk back and forward, you will encounter another enemy. If you want the genocide run, you need to walk back and forth. You need to spend hours until you see when you know there's like a screen that says encounter an enemy, right? Until when you encounter an enemy, it says but nobody came. When that comes, you know you're in the genocide run. You can't go back now. You gotta either kill. You gotta continue start killing everyone, and then at the end there will be this demonic, devilish character saying, "Hey, you did it. You did what you wanted to do. You killed everyone. Now this world is pointless. You can now erase it. You can either erase." Press this button to erase, and then like after you press it, it is like they will laugh, and then like with a demonic face, right? There's like lore behind that
Damn.
character, yeah, yeah. Or the pacifist. The pacifist route, you're gonna break the barrier and free the monsters. They become your friends. They're gonna live in the surface, you know. People like been waiting for a sequel for that game, for like a game on the surface, but then like yeah. And then the neutral, you will break the barrier, but you don't have any friends. You're just break the barrier for yourself, not for the monsters. That's the neutral one. So like yeah.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
It's really cool. And
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Basically, in the monster's view, so like the player can either reset. So if they don't want to do that anymore, they can reset, and monsters will forget about everything about it. And then there's some comics about this one really OP character called. You may know him because he's like a meme to the internet. Sans the skeleton. It's like really OP, and then like So when you get into he's a boss, right? So when you get into his boss fight, everyone was like, "Holy crap, he's so hard to do," because it's really OP. So sometimes in the like as like a fan comic gitu, they will make it here like after a couple resets, Sans will realize it and he was like, you dirty kid, you have been resetting this whole time." Like he's trying to stop it or trying to convince him to stop the kid to stop. Yeah, the reason you can do that as the character is because there's like 7 souls basically. So to break the barrier, there's like you need 7 souls, and your soul is determination. And the power of determination is basically you can't die and you can keep on resetting. That's the power of determination. You're like determined to finish it, to finish your goal. So like yeah, that's like really cool. Now I will live there if I become like a monster like Sans, because they're really fucking OP. It's such a nice story, like the characters around is so well written. It's a well written story. It's funny, and then like the it's like it's like limitless. There's no endless because people are making like the multiverse. There's no multiverse. It also exists because you make your own multiverse. It's endless. There's like the epic sans, which is the epic tale, or there's underfell under like swap tale where the characters swap personalities. Like it's just endless. So it's really cool for me. So like yeah, and it
Yeah,
was my childhood as well. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I just
that's
went
cool.
sidetracked there. I
It's fine.
sidetracked
It
there.
was it was actually cool though.
Yeah,
Hopefully the listeners think it's cool as well.
yeah, yeah. That's basically
Uh,
it. I would want to live there if I become Sans or something, because it's really OP.
so next question.
Yeah, yeah, I guess next question. Yeah.
So, what's a weird or random habit that you have?
I am very fidgety. I am very fidgety.
Art, same, honestly.
I just I just have the need to do something. Like if I used to bite on my pencils like 24/7s and shit when I was like in offline school. I used to do it 24/7. And then but then I stopped because it's disgusting. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But then now either like you probably can see if like in the video like I just move my hand everywhere like just like this or something, like I just have like to snap or just crack my fingers. Actually, since now to deal with that, I actually bought like I got into like ballet songs like this ballet song. It's like really cool to play with.
Oh,
Like you may have seen it on my story. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like cool tricks, like this. But then I can't do it on the podcast. It's because it's loud as it's like really loud, so I don't do it on the podcast. But then like if I'm playing games or streaming or anything, like and for example I'm dead and I'm just waiting for my friends to finish it around, I'll just like play with my ballet song and stuff because I really need to fidget and stuff.
Well, for me, besides like fidgeting, because I'm like a very fidgety person, actually, like this is like one of the random habits, but like, it's like not anyone else gonna talk about. But then like, so basically, I'm a Harry Potter fan, and I have like like the wizard wand,
Yeah, my
Harry
brother has
Potter
a lot.
nerd. Um, so basically, like I like in like my free time or sometimes during class when I don't have to turn on my camera, I like finger spinning. So it's either with like my pen or like it's funner with like using the wands or like
Yeah,
sometimes even with like my badminton racket. Like while I'm waiting for like the next like match or like my turn, I would like literally like spin with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like that's yeah.
Yeah, actually, dude, that actually is what got me into ballad songs. Like, I started by like my friend was showing off to me, like they were like spinning their pen, right? And then I was just like, oh, dude, how to spin it? And then this is like the basic trick I can do now.
Uh-huh.
This is like the only like the pen spin I can do, basically, right? The kind of illusion, not really. It just looks cool, right? But then it's like really easy to do. I just do that. You even school, like offline school, on site, right? We have like on site before, right? I actually did that a lot while we were in school. So like yeah, if I did my ballad song, and then after that I was like I saw ballad song, oh that's pretty cool, and then I bought some ballad songs, and then I played with it, and learned some tricks. Yeah, that's actually what got me into ballad songs. Finger spinning, yeah, spinning with pens. Shit.
It is cool though. It is cool.
Yeah,
Well, okay, for my like actual weird random habit, like so far, well, not so far, but like currently right now, the most that I do, besides like the whole fidgeting stuff
yeah,
is first of all, usually if it's like during the holidays or like when it's like the weekend, for example, like I did it today. So basically I wake up at 5, right? And then usually because I go out to like walk and run until like 7-ish, and then I come back home and then like I help my mom with like some chores usually she's not awake yet, so I do the chores beforehand before like everyone's awake, so I
Mm.
can like have my peace and quiet and like listen to music and stuff. And so like I do like my chores and I help clean the house. Um, and then, and then like I do like other productive things. Like if it was in like during school, because like now we're in the holidays, I would do like my homework too. And after all that's done, it's usually finished at around like 9 or 10. I do all that just so I could crawl back into bed. You would think I would constantly be productive through that whole Saturday, but no. I just
It's all
I
just
just
a build up so you can
yeah,
stay
yeah.
in bed peacefully.
Yeah. So like because like I hate being like because like sometimes like even though I'm a very fidgety person and I don't like not doing stuff, it's also nice to like I also really like staying in bed and like listening to music or like reading. So like but then if
Yeah.
I do that without being productive first or like finishing my homework, I feel so like it's like not peaceful. So like I will do all that and then I'll like go shower and then like change into my pajamas again and then I'll just crawl back in bed.
Yeah, for me, talking about like weird habits in bed, me waking up is like really weird. So when it's school time, there's no holiday, I always wake up late. Like I sleep me as a person, I have a fucked up sleep schedule. So like yeah, but then I always like either I need to be forced to be woke up, but then like I'm easily woken up. So like if you just like knock on my door, I will be woken up or like okay yeah. But then sometimes I'll be like 5 more minutes. I'll just like no not five not even 5 more minutes. I'll be like just let me like close my eyes for 10 more seconds. But then I realize, and then I wake up like crap I'm late. So sometimes that's why I'm not in devotion because of that.
I see, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. And before as well, it happened like in our last devotion. That happened. That's why I was late to devotion. That
And
happened.
then and then like everyone comes up with the excuse of my internet.
Yeah, but for me, I actually told Ibu Rita that I woke up late, like because it doesn't happen too
Okay,
much,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
just
yeah.
actually told her, right? Yeah. Other than that, like basically on school time, when it's school time, I wake up ultra late. Like even in Sunday and Wednesday and Saturday, on the weekends, I will wake up like at 10, 11, or 12. But then when it comes to holiday, when holiday comes, I want to peacefully sleep. I want to waste my time while sleeping. I wake
But
up
you
at
wake up.
6. I wake up at 6. Like no, my eyes are still tired, but I just can't go back to sleep. I
Oh my.
like why? Just why?
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Like usually I don't sleep in right, and then like me myself I don't want to sleep in because
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like feeling even though I'm not productive as I think I am, but I just like
Mm.
feeling like productive, like I've done something.
Mm.
Um, even though for the other people, even though it's fine to like let yourself rest and etc. But like so like when I finally allow myself to like sleep in as long as I want, maximal. And then this is okay. The latest I've woken up is 9, and that's because uh the night before I slept at like 3 a.m. But then like when I finally allow myself to sleep in, like you, I wake up at like 5 or 6 or 7. I'm just like, oh, this body is messed up. My sleep schedule is so weird.
Yeah. For me, honestly, I like the same. I don't like really sleeping in because it feels like I wasted so much time of the day. Like there was so much things you could have
Yeah,
done, or like maybe so much things you could have enjoyed.
yeah,
But at
yeah,
the same time, sometimes you just wanna sleep in because you're just tired
yeah,
and you
yeah,
just wanna
yeah.
sleep. So like
Oh,
yeah, that's
oh,
basically
moving
it.
on to like the second weird habit I have. So basically, I like caffeine. I like coffee, tea. But there's sometimes like, especially during school, where it's not that I slept late the night before because like I have pretty good time management if I do say
Mm.
so myself. But then like sometimes I'm just like super tired and I can't. And like it's I can stay awake in class, but it's like the motivation to like actually learn isn't there. So and then like coffee takes sometimes take a long or like not a long time to make, but I'm like kind of lazy sometimes. So I take out like a teaspoon and I scoop inside like the coffee
You just dry scoop it.
and I just dry scoop and shove it in my mouth.
How
Okay,
though? It's like
it's
strong as fuck. How did you do that? I'm honestly
so
impressed. You can do that. Like it's so
so
strong.
yeah. So like my mom and dad are like coffee lovers. So I have like a bunch of types of coffees and they drink black coffee, like literally no milk, no sweetener, no nothing. So like but my sisters they hate coffee. I'm the only one who
Mm.
likes coffee and tea. And I drink it black like my parents too. So like they have like the coffee and like my
Don't tell
my
me you
dad has
dry
like
scoop
the
black
brewer.
coffee.
so So it's either like the black coffee that so basically my dad like brews and like roasts his own coffee like this like coffee machine because
Yeah.
my parents are obsessed with coffee. They will buy anything like coffee related and be like so proud. I swear if we had like a museum for coffee, they would like you know. But then like okay, that's beside the point. So basically like either it's like the black coffee like I just like take this teaspoon or like sometimes they have like the lighter coffee for guests. So I like either like take that one or like the black coffee depends on like how tired and how much caffeine I need. And it's sometimes more than a spoon, like a teaspoon. Um, it's probably not healthy at all, but
Definitely isn't.
you do what you gotta do.
Yeah. For me, when it comes to coffee, I have like weird ass phases. So like for 1 year, I would be drinking coffee like every morning or maybe caffeine. Or actually, I have this drink called G Fuel. You probably will know because it's on the like everywhere on the internet. It's like it works as a meme. Oh my god! Imagine you can be a gamer without G Fuel, but then like people be like making fun of it, right? But then for me, it just tastes good and it like caffeine. So like yeah, it's not like it's not like it makes you better at games, but I just like the taste.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that and coffee, like so for 1 year I would drink it like consistently, and then the next year I just never drink at all. The next year and then like just a repeating cycle. So it's like really weird.
That happens to me sometimes, but it's usually like a shorter period amount of time.
No,
So
for me
either
it's like
like
years. I haven't drank
yeah.
I
That
haven't I
that's kind
haven't
of
drank
extreme.
I haven't drank coffee like 3 times in a row this year. Only like
Oh,
I drank coffee this year but not like in a row. Like not
yeah.
yeah, so like only for a day and then like a couple more months or weeks and then I drank coffee again. So like yeah.
Okay. I guess that's all the questions we have for the
Yeah.
theorem questions. Do you have anything else to put in, or should we like get on to like closing it?
No, not really. Yeah, that's practically all.
Okay. Okay. So thank you again for listening to our podcast. If you got to the end, great.
Thank you.
um, and also, I hope you like the 3M questions. Again, I'll try to remember to like put on our Instagram account in case
Yeah.
you guys have like 3M questions you guys want to ask or like any other questions in general. You're welcome to ask it. And then again,
Yep.
we'll be asking some of these 3M questions to you guys on our Instagram account. So if you want to answer, you can.
Yep.
We'll be sure to like reply to it at all.
Yeah.
Um, so also I hope like this, like the things we discussed was like helpful for all you guys. But that's enough for me. You got anything to say?
Don't forget to follow our socials. Give us some clout.
Hey,
Yeah. Thank you for listening. And if you're still here, thank you for listening.
if you're still here,
Yep.
the question mark.
Yep. If you're still here.
Okay, so should we end it?
Yep.
Farewell. Farewell.
Goodbye.